We are A very good morning, everyone, and welcome to this training program. Today, we are in the final day of week third. That's advanced digital concept. We are learning here today the topic that is introduction to coding and to software programming. So, definitely, there is a lot of doubts in the student's mind and everybody's mind, and a lot of myth is there in the student mind about what is this software programming is all about, why there are so many languages are available, uh, how to start the coding, what is coding is this very tough thing to do it, why we should learn about coding if we have a different field we have to go for it, right? So there are a lot of things out there, but today I think in this session we are going to clarify a lot of things today for you, and we'll explain about what is the importance of coding for everybody's life, because coding is not about only about going to the computer and start doing the programming. It is the problem solving skills it develops a lot of critical thinking, computational thinking, a lot of skills which is required for 21st century. It is helping us to build it. So in our session, we'll talk about this, and today we it's in the advanced technology concept. We are in our day 5. If you can quickly recap how this week went, we know that first time we discussed about IT, that's information technology. What is the relevance of it? What are the software field? What are the jobs available in the current IT segment? Then we spoke about very important and trending topic, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning, where we understood about what is the main difference between machine learning, artificial intelligence, and how, with so many examples, how this artificial intelligence are working, which stage right now we are in, how we can actually have a proper jobs available in future for artificial intelligence, and how we can train our system, which languages is required to train our system. Third, we discussed about concept of data science, where we discussed about the three important job roles like data scientist, data engineer, and data analyst. We understood about what is their day-to-day life, how the data are increasing every day. That is the main thought process of the data science. And we have discussed about the financial literacy, where we have touched upon the impact of, like, what is the current stage or um, stage of India in terms of the worldwide population in terms of financial literacy, and how financial literacy is becoming a very important aspects of digital literacy program, because we really wanted, because no matter if people become a um, data engineer, or they become a artificial intelligence engineer, or any field for that matter, apart from IT also, in all this field there is financial literacy concept. People has to use it, otherwise we have explained about what are the consequences, which not only the person will suffer but the whole country will suffer. And today we are getting into the coding and programming. So I hope these all concepts are making you to take informed decisions, to understand more and more skills in the future. This is helping you to understand the basic things, and no doubt, in our 3 year of collaborations and 5 year of collaboration, each topics will be explained with the industry experts with a lot of industrial experience. When you have got device in the hand, a lot of activities you can do it on the devices, right? So today let's get into the world of coding. Okay. And we need to first understand, before we get into the coding, we need to understand about some of the famous personalities, what they think about coding. Okay. Because every individuals today, the every big companies which you can see it today, there is a hand of big minds, and this can be possible with the help of software programming understanding. For example, let me just give you this quote of Steve Jobs, the Apple CEO. Everyone should know how to program a computer because it teaches you how to think, right? It is for everybody. And going forward, when you have got devices, we will run a competition. There's a lot of programming competitions out there which everybody can participate. Everybody in their lifetime, it is everybody. whether it's parents, students, everybody should do 1 hour of code. Okay, and it's not tough thing to do it. It's very easy. There are many simplistic approach of coding has come into picture, whether it's a block programming or we talk about the high level languages. But 1 hour of coding, we have mission which we can help you out in doing it. But this is very important to understand. Though Steve Jobs now not coming from the software programming field as a background, but still you can understand this code. Apart from that, let me just give you some important area why at this age it is important for you to understand about this code. Okay, now the famous billionaire, the Microsoft um, co-founder, Bill Gates, he started coding at the age of 13. Okay, you just think about your age today and think about this time, that how it has, like, it has transformed everything. Today Microsoft is billionaire company, right? And everything started from this level. uh, we talk about not only this about example, we talk about Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. In his sixth standard, he has started doing the coding. Sixth standard. And we can see the famous Facebook page, which is acquiring many companies today. They all have got the baseline with some kind of intent, some kind of real world problem they wanted to solve for their families. Okay, and they have started doing this kind of connection. And when we talk about even about the Jack Dorsey, who is the founder of Twitter, he has at age of 15 he has started writing the software dispatch system. Still, in many transportation industry, it is been used. When we talk about the famous Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, he also started the at the age of 10. That's what in his biography he's mentioning. And you can believe it that how this computer or the coding is making the people develop a different style of thinking skills, right? So that is the main plus point here in this entire thing. I hope by showing this kind of codes, we have covered almost all the top personalities of companies like Facebook, Tesla, um, Microsoft, right? Even in the Google case, even everybody, like they all have started at this age. And because they have understood one thing, that is the true value of potential of doing coding. Okay. So, uh, this is again from Miss Maria Clave. She is a Canadian American computer scientist and served the fifth president of the Harvey Mudd College from 2006 to 2023. And she was also mentioning that coding is today's language of creativity. All our students deserve a chance to become a creator instead of consumer of computer science. Like everybody deserve it. So maybe today after session you will get a lot of clarity that how it is going to happen. So welcome once again. Today we will explore the fascinating world of coding, and we'll learn that coding concept, why it is important, how we can do with the help of how it can develop essential 21st century skills with us. So let's get started. What is coding? So coding is a process of creating instruction for computers using the programming language. If I tell you the analogy, there is example of recipes, the food recipes, that how the step by step the food recipes when we have to cook it. Example, we have to cook idli or we have to cook any food for that matter. There are some kind of set of instruction which we are following it in our mind, or somebody is telling us, so that when we follow it, end product is the idli. So how exactly this has been done? This has been done with the help of some kind of set of instruction. To make it more simpler, to make you understand one thing, for example, when you first time, like in your, let's example, your teacher of the school, is teaching some topic to you and giving you and assigning you some kind of project work. Now, if you all remember, when teacher is assigning you the project work, that time you all are clueless. You are not aware about how to do this project. Ultimately, when a teacher is giving you the step by step instruction and then you follow it properly, some people become achievers, some people are not able to achieve that project goal. Okay, there may be some kind of in between, some diversification has happened, that's why the result is not coming into picture now. But some students who follow the instruction properly, he gets the end result, he gets the prize, he gets the project completed also. Same you have to consider in case of computer. Okay, you take the role of the teacher, that means the teacher, and the relation between the teacher and the student is like the relation between you and the computer, right? Because you have to give the instruction. Computer don't know anything, right? The better you give the instruction to the computer, the better result they will produce. And the way we are doing this instruction, we are making them more and more intelligent. Another example is artificial intelligence, right? So we are making the, like how the teacher is making the student more and more smarter, more and more intelligent. Same way the computers today, the scientists is making them more and more intelligent, right? So it is all depend how we give the instruction to computer. So that's a basically about coding. It involves writing script that tells the computer what to do. Okay, and it is very important for us to know about this all important concepts. I'll explain you why. Okay, let's talk about some of the myth of coding which is there. One of the famous myth which I can get everybody that that coding is very tough language. Definitely not, because anyone can do coding, anyone for that matter. And they can give the instruction to computer, maybe in the form of a, they can generate a new instruction and give it to the computer to do it. And some of the myths which I can just show you, that it is only for the genius, right? Definitely not, because anyone can learn code, practice, and with some kind of patience. The practice plays a big role here. If you're out of practice, you have to remember that. For example, when you are learning mathematics in your school, when you go out of practice in solving the problem, you will get stuck, right? The same happens here also. When you learn about the step-by-step method of writing the codes, that instruction, if you remember and understand properly, you can understand many languages. The fundamentals should be clear for everybody. um, Coding is boring. This was the famous thing, I think, in the one of the interview I've seen from the Facebook CEO also. Mark Zuckerberg has also mentioned that 6 years they have done the coding. And many, this is the story of many companies, right? They do the coding for getting the end result. They do the coding for endlessly. They maybe do for 3 years, 4 years, 6 year, 8 year, 10 year, right? So our firm also, they worked on like almost on the coding for 6 to 8 years to develop a beautiful system, right? So ideally, it looks like boring, but the result is, it is fun when you discuss reality with the software developer and software programmer. They will tell their experience, because every day you are the winner. So you are solving some problems, you are developing a new things, right? So no doubt, when you are learning coding, you will not understand, but in the background there are many skills are developing in you, okay, which you should be agree with me, because something like critical thinking. So if this route is not right, let us try the route number two, critical thinking. Like how teacher is giving you instruction, if some problems are not solving, what is happening? A teacher is trying to give some other methods to you. Okay, this is how you should do it. And that's a critical thinking for. Same way, creativity. Now, beautiful projects, all the innovations, you can see it with a small twist, the creativity sparks. Okay, I'll give you some examples today to make you more understand about this. Creativity is the big thing. Today, all the website, software solutions, you can see it. Collaborations, working with others on code projects. I explained you in the chapter of IT. I explained you about the software development lifecycle model, right? How in the software industry a software is developed. It is not a part of only the software programmer who's doing it. Software programming is one part of it. System, deploying the system, and maybe it is going for the production and then maintenance of the system and support of the system. So IT itself is a broader subject. Under that, software programming is one of the topic, and which helps you out until you understand the requirement from the other teammates. You cannot start doing the coding until you think. You cannot start the coding until you discuss with your peer and get a review system done always with the client. You cannot do it because today in India, especially I'm talking about India. India is divided into two types of industry. One is product based industry, one is service based industry. Service based industry, like examples, the Infosys, right? The TCS. These are the IT companies, which is the example of service based company because they don't have their own product, they develop for the other people's, right? They hire employee, and that employee, they get some kind of projects. For example, I showed you the example of SBI Bank, right? So if SBI Bank has to enhance their digital infrastructure, they give the contract to TCS. Now, what TCS will do? TCS will hire the programmers, and they will develop a software which is for the banks. Other type of companies like Microsoft, right? Google, Adobe, that companies are the product based company. Let's say they are a product based company. What they do is they develop the product by their own. They develop the software by their own, right? And it is their in-house production. So ultimately, when you are doing the collaboration in the IT industry, if I talk about, if you are working in a service based industry, you have to collaborate with the client. For example, SBI, you have to understand their requirement properly. You have to understand, talk to your team. If you're a product based team, you have to do a lot of brainstorming to develop the software. You have to internally collaborate with every members. That means if Microsoft also, if they release a small software also, today they are bringing the doctors, the scientists, the educationists. They're bringing the community parents, everybody, and they understand what is the influence of this small feature in everybody. And when they understand that with the community, they develop the system with all the feasibility check. So ultimately, collaboration skills in future it is developing a lot. You cannot start without collaboration. Communication, enhance problem solving skills, opens up career opportunities, a lot of career opportunity, you know that, and enables you to create your own project. Right from today, you can start. So there is no age restriction when you have to start the coding. Now, giving you one small example to make you more understand about this coding, how easy and what influence of coding it is. Understand this. Um, Set of instruction, we talk about the mathematics problem, and I'll explain you that how the mathematics problem can connect to the coding problem also. Okay, let's try to understand what these things. So example, using mathematics, the step-by-step method, can we solve this? The question is like this. Calculate the area of rectangle with length is 5 and width is 3. Can we solve it? How can we solve it? Maybe we know the formulas and we apply some steps and we are able to solve it, right? But we are solving this solution of calculating the area of rectangle. Is who is solving? Is you are solving, and for whom you are solving? You are solving for yourself, correct? So that you get the answer. In contrast, example, you get the answers like this: area equals to length into breadth, and you get the answer like this. If we have to do a coding in the same problem, we have to solve. Problem solving, I told you, right? Same problem we have to solve with the help of a coding, with the help of some languages. If we have to solve it, and we have to also at the same time we have to create a solution for other, so that other people should not uh, do this manual method of calculation with the maths, but it can create a generalized product for the people. Okay, for that, what we have to do it? We may have to start the coding for it, right? So I will share you one screen right now, which will demonstrate you the process. But let me just show you that the way I can write a code. Okay, for the same problem, I can write a code with basic things. I am going to use right now the, let's say, the HTML. and I will use the JavaScript. Okay, just to use this to coding to solve this problem. I'll tell you what is the end result. Okay, for example, this is my code, which look like. I'll just show you in the real time. Just give me a second. I am just going to share it to you. Just allow me a second. Okay, great. I think it is visible for my audience. Let me just reshare it. Great. I think it is visible. So now what I did was I have created a small code which is like HTML tag. We know that HTML part is there. HTML to start, HTML to end, and then there is a like these are the HTML thing. If it is not covered in like in the system, when we start the programming languages in future, we'll start with the HTML and CSS for you. But I'll just show you that HTML is there, that head tag is there, the title is there, calculate the area of rectangle, and then you have got a JavaScript, right? Now, I can just show you one thing here. In this process, okay, if I have to calculate the length and width, what I did is I have just written everything on the HTML tag with some small inclusion of JavaScript, and ultimately I am getting this page. Okay, let's say we can develop this kind of page right now, and it is a common page for everybody, right? If you all can see this one, it's a common page for everybody where it is asking you to calculate a area of rectangle. So example, if I can use this, in the length is 4 and then width is 3, we can click on calculate area and the result is coming on the screen. If somebody wanted to make it 6 into 3, result is 18. I'm just trying to tell you that how easily we can develop a solution for people. This is just a very simplest example for you to understand the potential of coding. Okay, the coding has got a amazing feature sets. We just need to know how to give instruction. We have showed you that how we are giving it. Okay, and but to understand the syntax, the labels, everything, that is the concept which we will be explaining it to you in the future session. When you have got the devices, right now there is no thing, but only thing, understand the potential. What we are solving in the mathematics today, we can create a solution for other people to also use it. We can host that solution for the people. Okay, we can do a lot of creativity. So that is the one of the example. Let me just switch back to my screen. Okay, let me just, I think, yeah, my PPT screen is visible to you. So I was explaining you about this thing. Okay, so once the coding part is clear to you, that how what is coding all about, why we should do the coding, and how it is going to solve the real world problem also, we may have got a small idea about the coding. It is simple. And if I show you some of the examples, if like today time is not there, but if I'll show you some of the examples of the block programming when you have got devices. So all of you individually can do the coding just like that, and you can have the interest level develop. So now, before we start into coding part, there was a lot of confusion for the people. Okay, that's where many people get confused. The confusion is there is lot of programming languages, lot of programming languages. Why there are so many languages? How can we learn all of it? And how we can know that which language is good for us, which language is not good for us? Okay, why there are so many languages? Understand this. This is like India, right? India has got many languages, regional languages and other things to communicate. The objective is to communicate, but we use multiple languages on multiple occasions. Now we'll understand about there are so many languages, but what are these languages all about? Coding is fine, we can do it. I just mentioned about HTML and JavaScript, but we need to pick up which one we should use it. For example, there are so many languages are there. Why there are so many languages? Because we can choose which language to use when. For example, when you see any website today, any website, from the website perspective, the designing perspective, yes, JavaScript is a good tool. It can help us in a lot of customization. But when we talk about the behind the scene, the logic side of it, that means where the calculation, lot of things are happening, it has some kind of security issues. So programmers, when they understand what languages for what purpose, which one can be suited for what logic. So example, they use some kind of HTML and CSS and JavaScript for designing the web page as a front end. Basic codes they can do it, but behind the logic where the actual transaction takes place, the entire logic behind the system. Because you can create the buttons, all those things, fancy things, that is fine, but when you click on button, some calculations are happening in the behind the scene. These all things could be done into some more protected system. Like you have seen that in the bank payments, when you go to the any bank website, the UI is fine. That means user interface is fine. People can go and see it, can log in it. But inside it, how it can log in, how we can do the transaction, there is a behind, there is a big logic is there. There we cannot use the JavaScript for it because of some security reasons. There we can use some high level languages, something like C Sharp or some other languages, which is we can use the advanced Java concept. We use Python, and we try to make it. So idea is why we have so many language. I was trying to tell you based on our requirement and understanding, based on the business scenario, these languages can be used. But fundamentals are absolutely same. Okay, when we have to understand why we are programming, if we got that answer with us, we know what is variable, we know what is pointers, we know the basics of data types, and most important, before we start programming, there is a concept of DSA, which was part of in our college time also, which we have studied. Very important topic. Okay, which in a capsule format we can explain it in our future session, which is talking about the data structure and algorithm. Okay, that is a DSA, most demanding thing in future. If some people wanted to have career in the field of software programming. Okay, no doubt it is going to be part of your college course, but right from the school, if we understand the coding and we start with the data structure, that how algorithm works, it is going to help you not only in your best level of programming, but also in future all machine learnings works on that basis. Anyways, let's set apart. We'll talk a little bit about the software programming languages, right? As I told you, it is a set of instruction. Irrespective of anything, it is just a set of instruction which we provide to computer. Okay, and if you learn about one programming, don't go with multiple programming language initially. Learn one programming languages. That means how we can communicate to computer, and later you can develop a lot of skills. Other languages you can easily understand, because in the age of knowledge, when you have got Chat GPT, when you have got co-pilots, it is really not recommended that you need to learn a lot of things. Okay, you can understand the concept and then you can build upon it. You can learn any language on a button click today. Okay, but one language to start with. Now let me talk about a little bit history about this programming language to make you understand why there are so many languages out there. So students, one thing very clear is uh, There are set of like programming, as I told you, it's a set of instruction which your teachers can give it. And what used to happen in the old age, when there was no programming languages was developed, everything was happening in the form of 0 and 1. Okay, because a electrical signal used to pass in the computer, and that time the computer scientists who are available, they count, they measure if the voltage is high or the current is passed, they mark it as 1. If current is not passed, they mark it as 0. That's how the computer was given the instruction. If they have to write something on the computer, something like this, decimal, let's say number 2 or number 2, they put one kind of current signal, voltage high, then give voltage low, and it is computer meaning itself is like it's become a 2. If it is 3, they wanted to write it, they give 2 times the signal of 3. That means the high voltage they provide it. Likewise, these are the binary numbers which is showing you and representing you the electrical signal, how it has been passed in the old days. Okay, there are decimals, there are binary numbers. So binary numbers is the one thing which computer can understand because it's electrical. Till today, computer only understand the binary language, whether it's electrical signal we are passing or how we are doing it. But till today, it's the same thing. So that time when they have to write, they used to remember. The computer scientists used to remember all these languages. That means if they have to type 3, they know like, okay, how many times I have to give a high voltage and low voltage in the computer to pass a signal to print something. Imagine if they have to write a any small word or any small messages, how much difficulty would be. Because if they have to write something like, let's say, apple. Okay, I give an example like this. If they have to write apple, A means it's the symbol of A which is showing you in the binary format is like this. Okay, because as per the binary representation, it converts into form of as ASCII, right? Value. So now A is written like this, P means like this, then again P like this, then L like this, E like this, and therefore Apple is this is the binary format of writing Apple. This is how the signals has been passed. Okay, as 8-bit binary equivalent. So if you go back and think about from their mindset during that point of time, what used to happen, they need to remember each and every numbers and each and every code before they give any instruction to computer, because it was on electrical signals. Then later what happened, there was initiative, was a scientist, and her name was like Grace Hooper, who came into picture, who has developed a machine which is called as a compiler to ease the work of the computer scientist of that time, because writing A is difficult. So what they did is they mentioned some kind of machine level languages and assembly languages they have developed there, and they told, okay, if this is the representing that means this is representing A, that means the A is representing by this, they convert it with the A letter. So scientists can type A, and ultimately it is going in the binary side. It is pre-coded that, okay, this is how it can be done. Okay, if they put A, that means that number. They don't have to pass the signal that many times. So that kind of system development was happened, and the best part of this kind of system and was developed, um, and yeah, it was a great innovation during that point of time. And slowly, when this kind of system was there, slowly this system was accepted by everybody, and they started liking this system. And ultimately, with that, slowly in the next year, we have got IBM has also find out a method of developing this kind of assembly languages, and they have developed the first software programming language, which is called Fortran. And in the Fortran is the full form is like formula translation, was developed by John Backus and his team at IBM. The reference manual for Fortran was released in 1956. The first compiler began producing Accurate in 1957. So that machine which was created with that idea, that was there. And then COBOL is the other languages, which is again done in 1959 finally by the same scientist. Okay. So it was again done by the same scientist, and that Grace Hopper is the main stakeholder for developing this COBOL. And until today, COBOL is used in many systems. So Fortran and COBOL was the starting assembly languages, which was coded in a format that binary numbers can be coded into formula so that people can remember. But the only problem is this coding can be done only on a special devices, special system. Okay, for example, if a computer is using uh, the Celeron processor, or they are using the very old processor, only on that processor and operating system it will work. It will not work in other system. It is platform dependent. That was a problem. Then what used to happen after that, after the Fortran and COBOL, there was a transformation, there was a transition taking place, and then slowly the high level languages, the scientist has been more inclined toward the English languages, and then more high level languages has come into picture, which can give a proper instruction to the computer, something like C++. So if you understand the evolution of computer right from 1951 to 2025, every year it is like when C has come, then when the C++ has come. So this has created to provide more better instruction to the computer. So it has used the features of assembly language and converted into a machine language. Oh, sorry, the high level languages, which is easy for us to understand and write the coding. Okay, and then different companies has come into picture, like how computer when it has come, the different companies were developing computer. Likewise, internet when it has come, many companies are there who's provider of internet. Same way, the software programming, many companies has come up and they designed and they developed their programming language in such a way it can make use of many people. Many people can like it for their security feature, for their ease of access. Okay, so likewise today also the Netflix or Instagram, or you can see anything, they all started using the like application that the languages like React. In the React they use it. There is a different languages which they all try to use to develop the software. They use the multi micro service architecture. They use their multiple things today as of today to develop more easy language and more, I can say that, compatible language for the people so that they can start giving a better instruction to computer. Like earlier days I told you again, the electrical signal we used to pass, then assembly language has come into picture, right, with the help of that compiler. And then we have got this kind of high level languages which again the instruction was given, but high language can be converted into the binary language before the instruction come to the computer. Hence the role of compiler is coming into picture. Same way assembly language should convert the instruction to computer in a form of a binary language, and hence the concept of uh, assembler has come into picture. So these are the things which is very small and but basics. It help us in understanding that how this all things has been done. And today because of these things, people who become master in programmings, they understand, they have got amazing job opportunities today in the field of software engineering. People, that's why they do the software programmer jobs, because they can become a data scientist. They learn some programming language, they learn some data science algorithm, and they understand some data structure, and they start using that technology to get the information. As I was explaining in data scientist topic also, there are multiple languages are available, right? Data scientist, multiple tools I told you about, the Teradata, I told you about the Informatica, ETL tools are available. Now how this has been done, some programmers would have done multiple tools development, and they would have selling these tools to different companies for managing the big data, right? So same way, and today, the machine learning engineers, software engineers, cloud engineers, DevOps specialist, then tester, automatic tester, blockchain specialist, database developer, front end developer, full stack developer, and you have got mobile developer. There are different types of high demand job for the software programmers, right? So at end, I will definitely say that as you embark the journey of software programming, Remember that every great programmer started where you are standing today. Here are the few piece of advice I really wanted to give you that you can remember when you are going to take this kind of journey. Number one is definitely you have to start with one language at a time to understand the fundamentals. What is variable? What is data type? What is integers? And then when you understand, okay, how to get output, the same concept can work for multiple programming languages. If you understand the fundamentals, tomorrow you can use the generative AI platforms. Today, almost like after the chat GPT has come, almost like 60 to 80% of software developers are relying on that to get a very they use the technology to get a very quick codes, the because that is the machine learning, right? They design a code and give it to the software developers. So if a developer a newly joining company, also if his concept is clear, he can use this kind of AI tools to get some kind of, because they have to write like 1,000 lines of codes, and that time it is too time saving. So that is helpful here. So with that, students will stop now. Our next week's syllabus will start from Monday. That's a week number 4, right? And we will start from Monday about the week 4 syllabus, where we will go into the project work. We'll understand, we can recapitulate everything, and we'll assign you the project works which you have learned the week 1, 2, and 3. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, the DTHL coordinator at the school. And I'm getting a lot of amazing photos with your efforts, which you all are doing it. Thank you so much. And students, I hope you are making the notes about this entire thing. And for this weekend, we'll enable the recording so that you can watch the recording on this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thank you so much.